Hello, I'm Lucas from Fleet. I'm the developer working on the conditional access integration um, in Fleet, and I will go over the steps required to configure. This has been shipped in 469, um, and we're making the last final changes to this, but it's somewhat ready, and we have the documentation here to set this up on, um, on Fleet. So the um, on this video, I'm going to show the IT admin steps to configure the integration. On a separate video, I will show what the end user will see when they have to like log into Entra to register the device. So we'll start with the setup integration in Fleet. So let me just open this other guide, which is more up to date. Um, so the first step is to configure Fleet as a compliance partner in Intune. You would log into your Intune instance, and when this is ready, Fleet will show up as a compliance partner. So we'll get to do that now. So I'm on a test tenant that we have for Fleet, and we are in. So I think you can get to this part from um, uh, tenant administration. This is all documented on the actually a Microsoft website, so you can follow those steps. But basically, it's a connector and tokens, partner compliance management, and then right here you would. We currently support Mac OS only, so you would sorry, you would add a compliance partner, and right here you will see that. I mean, this is just for testing. We have a Fleet Dev application. There should be a Fleet application in production after this is released, right, like this. So you would select Fleet for the, for this demo, we'll just select that, and we have select the platform. We're going to add all users just for this demo, but you can customize this, and then we're going to create. All right, so the the compliance partner configuration is done, right? We have Fleet as a partner for Intune, but it's shown. I mean, it will show as pending activated. It just terminated because I actually am using the same tenant for development, but it will show. I believe it will show like this, um, as pending activation. And then the next step is to set up this integration in Fleet. So to do that, we have to go to Fleet. In 469, there will be a new option under settings, integrations, conditional access, and this is how we configure the integration. This is performed only once, so we need the tenant ID. All right, so we have to go to, actually you have to go to entra.microsoft.com overview, and then you got the tenant ID right over here. So I'm going to copy that, go to settings, save. This will redirect um, your browser to log into Microsoft. Again, I'm using a test account here. And then you have to consent and provide access to Fleet so that Fleet can update the status, the compliance status of your devices. Basically, you're consenting to that. And you should be redirected back to Fleet. I'm logged out because I'm using a different local host, but we can refresh here and you will see that the setup is done. So this is a global configuration that we need. This is the first step. So let's go back to the document. After this is done, we have to, for each team that you want to configure your devices to use conditional access, you will need a few um, configurations in Fleet to allow this. So the first is we need company portal because the devices need to log into Entra, right? And this is done via company portal application for Mac. And you will basically have to add company portal as a custom package with automatic install for your team. Um, and that's it. So this will make sure that company portal is installed on your devices. I've already done that, I think. So let me just show. Um, we go to, I'm using no team, but it can be any team. Let's go to available for install. So we have company portal and it's an automatic install, right? So we're good there. Um, let's go back to the guide. Next step is configuration profile. So for conditional access, the company portal application requires macOS platform SSO extension. This is to integrates very well with Apple, so that you don't have to like log in with your same credentials every time you want to access some Entra resource. You just do it once, and it will store those credentials on the keychain, and so it will improve the user experience. But to deploy that extension, the only way to deploy that extension is via a profile. So you will need to actually get this profile into your teams. Um, and that's all documented on this document. It's just about adding the profile in controls. I already did that. OS settings, custom settings, and this is a profile that it's documented here. Again, this is just installing a platform SSO extension for company portal Mac. Next step is we need a label, and we're gonna see the need for this label later when I create another policy. So the label, we're doing all these again so that the end user logs into Entra on the device, right? We have to make sure that happens. Otherwise, if the device is not logged into Entra, then we cannot do much. So we will need this label that I've already created, called company portal install and configured. So this label makes sure that, again, company portal app is installed and this profile is deployed, because we need that for the next steps. So this is just a label to make sure that happens. Then we're going to create a policy and a script. So this is the final step. So the policy and script will make sure that your users are logged into Entra. So the policy basically checks if the user is logged into Entra. And if this policy fails, we're going to execute this script, which will open company portal on the device with a specific flags that conditional access requires. It cannot just be like open company portal, because for conditional access, we just need to enter the credentials and the company portal app will just exit. It's just a special way for conditional access. And again, we do this by creating a script and associating that script to the policy. So I can show that now. If I go to policies and I go to scripts, you will see I have a company portal signing policy and the script for executing that command that I showed for the user to log in. You will have to do that for like every team you have on your instance. And again, we are planning on releasing some GitOps for this in case you don't wanna, you want to apply everything on one go. So let me just go back to the guide. We're almost done. Last step is, well, it's the most important step. We will configure Fleet policies, right? This is the real feature. So by configuring policies in Fleet to be the ones used for conditional access, you make sure that devices are going to be blocked from accessing a resource in Entra, depending on the results of policies. So you will go to your team, and there will be a new option here called conditional access, and you can enable, disable it, right? And then you can select which policies do you want to select for conditional access. In this case, I'm going to select FUBAR. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to a host that I know is enrolled to no team, right? So this host already is passing the policy. So we're actually going to refetch one more time because the integration happened was configured like after the refetch. So we're going to refetch. And I'm going to go to Entra, and I'm going to see the devices here. Every time the user logs in, a user logs into Entra using this company portal application, you will see the device here. Um, so as you can see here, this is the real thing. This compliant column will be set by fleet to yes and well and no. And in this case, this device, just a test device, hasn't reported any compliance status. And let's now try to let me see. So it did refetch. Foobar is passing, so that's why it's compliant. Now let's go back to foobar because it is just a test. I'm gonna make it fail. I'm gonna make the policy fail. I'm gonna save that, and I'm going to refetch the MacBook. Um, and now the policy should fail, and then on Entra we should see the device as non-compliant. It will take a minute. All right, so it did refetch. Now I can see that foobar is failing, right? You can see foobar failed. So if we check now on Entra, and it may take some time, but let's see. We're gonna refresh Entra. We should now see the device marked as non-compliant. If not, we may have to wait a couple of more seconds, but there we go, no compliant. And then on a separate video, I will show how you can configure policies in Entra to block access depending on this compliant flag, which basically makes that fleet will become the uh, the gate to your services, depending on the policies that you configure. All right, that's it. And the next video, I'll probably show the device, the end user experience, and I will also show the how will a user see when what will a user see when they try to log in or access some resource and they're not compliant. Thank you.